Shabbat Shalom. I'm Jeff Litwin. I'm the VP of Development and Finance here at Beth Chaim. I'm here tonight representing the board. It's a pleasure to see all of you here at our Rock Shabbat service this evening as we Zoom and live stream for the sanctuary. Before we begin, I have some information to share. As a reminder, you are part of our security team. We ask that you keep your eyes open. In case of emergency, please be aware that there are exits in all directions, in and out of the sanctuary, including a door on the bima, which leads to the library. If you are wearing a hearing aid with a T-coil setting, you may access our hearing loop using your program. We do have headphones for those without that program. Large print prayer books and generic reading glasses are available as well. These are located on the table at the entrance of the sanctuary. We want to create a sacred place that will inspire prayer. Please silence or turn off your phones at this time. And we ask you to refrain from taking any photos or videos during the service. A recording will be available afterwards on our YouTube channel. For our folks on Zoom, please stay muted unless the clergy invite you to unmute and participate. We may be physically separated from one another, but one community in prayer and celebration. Before I conclude, I just want to make a plug. We are trying to start bingo here at Beth Chaim to raise additional funds. If anyone is interested in volunteering, it'll probably be 3 or 4 times over a 10-month period. We'd appreciate if you reach out to Camille Bloomberg to help us out. As we move into the sacredness of Shabbat, let us hold in our thoughts and prayers all of those struggling in Israel. Let our voices raised in song and prayer unite our aching hearts. We continue with the liturgy projected on the screen to welcome in this day of rest.
Chuner on a knock, come let us sing. Lechuner on a knock. Should be the key of G. There we go. Bring it down a little bit. Lechuner on a knock. Kadma fanav betoda bizmiro narialo Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
Shabbat Shalom, Cantor. And thank you to Michael Katz, who made this tambourine possible. We have quite a lot to be grateful for this week. Who saw the solar eclipse since last Shabbat? Fantastic. Everyone can still see okay? All right, good. We didn't look directly at the sun. That's good. Who saw the double rainbow outside as we're getting ready to welcome in Shabbat service? I'm so sorry, Cantor. You were eating dinner.
Darn.
But there is an incredibly brilliant rainbow that I took a picture of and we'll show you later.
Good.
Which reminds us of the season that we're in. We're finally 3 weeks into spring and it's feeling like it. Don't forget, April showers bring May flowers. We need the rain for that earth to turn green again. And I don't know about you, but just that extra hour, those extra hours of sunlight and that little bit of warm temperatures is really helping my mood. Yes? Anybody with me? We're also just started a brand new month on the Jewish calendar, which we're going to talk about later, and it is the month of miracles. So there's a lot of good energy in the Jewish community this week. But also, really grateful to have the rock band up on the bima. Not only is there a milestone birthday on the bima, you'll learn more about that later, but also we have a new member of the band, Vivi Khan, on guitar. Vivi debuted on Purim, you may remember her, and we look forward to continuing to make beautiful music together. We're so glad for everyone celebrating their April birthday or anniversary with their Beth Chaim. We're going to celebrate you all later in our service. And last, but certainly not least, we are celebrating the newest Jewish adult in the house tonight. So Elia Masa, come bring your family on up to the bima as we turn to our Shabbat candles. All four Masas, come on up.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives.
Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzihadlik ner lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Fantastic. And we just have one more reading.
There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world for our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace.
We are so glad to be celebrating all of you this Shabbat. Elio, we'll hear a little bit more from you after services, but please, you're welcome to go back to your seats and enjoy the rest of the service as we wish you all a hearty Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov.
We continue with our Kabbalat service. Those psalms of welcome for this special day of rest.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho. Oh, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho. Oh, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho. Yalla la 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 lecharodi, yalla la 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 lekrakala, yalla la 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 pnei Shabbat, ekabla, yalla la 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 lechadodi, yalla la 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 lekrakala, yalla la 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 pnei Shabbat. Pnei Shabbat ekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Hishmiyanu el hamyuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad. L'shemo tiferet v'litila. Yadadai, yalalalai lechadodi, yalalalai lekrakala, yalalalai pnei Shabbat, pnei Shabbat ekabela. Likrat Shabbat lecho v'nelcha, ki mekor haberacha, merosh mikedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila. Yadadai, yalalalai lechadodi, hayadadai, yalalalai lekrakala. הלך, גם בשמחה ובסהולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. יא די די, יא לה 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 לחדותי, יא לה 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 לקראת חלה, יא לה 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 פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה, יא לה 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 לחדותי, יא לה 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 לקראת חלה, יא לה 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 פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה.
I invite you to turn to your neighbors, greet one another, Shabbat Shalom, introduce yourself to someone new. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. All right, we're going to invite all who are able to continue standing as we turn to Chatzi Kaddish. Prepare for the part of our service, that call and response. Are you ready to pray? Yes, we are.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועמד יברח ירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ועלמי עמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ותרומם וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקדושם בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה תאמירם בעלמה ויאמרו אמן. יאי די די, יאי די די די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די די, יאי די די די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די 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 די. ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. יאי די די, יאי די די די, יאי די 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 די. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns becomes day, day turns to night.
Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form?
Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
Please rise for Shema in body or spirit.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderech u'shokbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam המזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם emet.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt. That there is a better place, a promised land. That the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness. That there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and maybe timbrels marching together.
2, 3, 4. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha ne'edar b'kodesh, nora tehilo nosei melech, nora tehilo nosei melech. And the women dancing with their timbrels follow Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one which sang our history. With every strand and every thread she crafted her delight. A woman touched with spirit, she dances towards the light. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha ne'edar b'kodesh, nora tehilo nosei melech, nora tehilo nosei melech. When Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom and march to the promised land? shelter of your peace over us. Guide us with wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu v'chayim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שמע וינפש, שמע וינפש. וביום השביעי שמע וינפש, שמע וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
That was a new sound there. With our spirits lifted, we invite our bodies to join as we turn to the Amidah. If you are able, we invite you to rise as we face Jerusalem.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'im imahot, umevi gula lifnei v'neihen, leman shemo be'ahava. Melech ozer u'moshia u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'ezrat Sarah, atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayei hakol atah ra lehoshia, mashiv haruach morid Hashem, mechakel chayim bechesed, mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, zomech noflim verofech olim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al givuro, umidor melach, melech memit umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, v'kroshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
You may be seated. So we're going to now transition to our climax of gratitude. Our opportunity to say thank you for so much that is good in our lives, opportunities to celebrate milestone moments, and this is how we're going to say thank you.
ועל זה אנו נודה, ועל זה אנו נודה, ועל זה אנו נודה, ועל זה
All right, anyone celebrating an anniversary in this month of April? April anniversaries, please rise in place because we want to celebrate you. We are so grateful that you're sharing your love with your spiritual community. May you continue to know many years of health and happiness, peace and tranquility in your homes. And please stay standing while we have the opportunity now to say thank you with you for this opportunity to celebrate.
ועל זה אנו נודה, ועל זה אנו נודה, ועל זה אנו נודה, ועל זה אנו נודה.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, if you have a birthday in this month of April, like Ari Seth Blum, who has a milestone, he's turning 5. That's a whole hand, everybody. Or Eric Burgell is turning 40 today. Any other milestones? Okay, we are so glad to be celebrating with you. Anybody else whose birthday is today? That's always special. All right, this month of April, as the rain showers down, may you be showered with great blessing. May this be an incredible year, a year of excitement and adventure, but not too much, just the right amount, whether that means travel or new experiences, new friendships, or trying something new. We're so incredibly grateful to be able to celebrate with you. Please stay standing as we have the opportunity to sing thank you for you with you together.
ועל זה אנו נודה, ועל זה
open. What else are we grateful for this Shabbat evening? Lori, you got to use your projection voice. Arlene made it back from New Zealand. Wow, I hope it went well. Fantastic. A week of subbing. A new job opportunity. What else are we grateful for this Shabbat? Besides a double rainbow and a solar eclipse. Oh, so good to see the extended Sussman family tonight. All right. What else are we celebrating? Lydia. Ooh, happy anniversary. First one. Alana. Grateful for the children dancing to the music. Me too. Charlotte, you first. Oh, grateful for sleepover. Is that tonight? Amazing.
Shabbos sleepover.
You know what I'm grateful for? Not having a sleepover. Cliff.
We had a tree fall in a house in January, and they just finished reconstructing the rooms that were destroyed. So
Grateful to have a reconstructed house.
Redemption, if you will.
better than it was before.
Even
Amen.
better. And did the insurance company pay for it?
Insurance paid for it.
Fantastic.
A miracle.
Yaakov. Let's give it up for Elio! All right, that sounds like a great note to end on. One more resounding note of gratitude, everybody.
ועל זה אנו נודה. ועל זה אנו נודה. ועל זה אנו נודה. ועל זה אנו נודה. Beautiful.
Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace. And give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. Make contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people and all the inhabitants of the earth with peace.
Shalom Rav, O Yisrael Alcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, O Yisrael Alcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech hador, lecho hashalom. Ki ata hu melech hador, lecho hashalom. Shalom Rav, O Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, O Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Letov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav, O Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, O Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
those beautiful notes of peace ringing in our ears, we take a few moments for silent prayer to offer up our own hopes and dreams, yearnings this Erev Shabbat, and we'll come back together in just a moment with a special song that'll appear on the screen.
As this is the month where we celebrate our redemption and what it means to be free, it is only appropriate that we sing some text, not from our Siddur, our prayer book, but from the Haggadah, our special book of telling the story of our Exodus. Mi Mitzrayim, meaning from Egypt. Yatsa mi Mitzrayim, our journey from it. I invite you to listen a little bit and join in whenever you feel comfortable or the Spirit so moves you to do so. B'chol tor v'tor chayav adam lirod et atzmo ke'ilu yatsa mi Mitzrayim, yatsa mi Mitzrayim, Yatsa mi Mitzrayim, Yatsa mi Mitzrayim. B'chol dor v'ador chayav adam lirod et atzmo ke'ilu yatsa mi Mitzrayim, yatsa mi Mitzrayim, yatsa mi Mitzrayim, yatsa mi Mitzrayim. Can you picture yourself crossing through and wandering the desert? Can you feel the wind support you as you go? Do you hear the cries of those left behind, still hoping for tomorrow? Do you fear the mountain you still have to climb? Can you picture yourself crossing through and wandering the desert? Can you feel the wind support you as you go? Do you hear the cries of those left behind, still hoping for tomorrow? Do you fear the mountain you still have to climb? B'chol dor v'ador chayav adam lirod et atzmo ke'ilu yatsa mi Mitzrayim, 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 yatsa mi Mitzrayim. Ilu hotzianu mi Mitzrayim, hotzianu mi Mitzrayim dayenu. Ilu hotzianu
Yatsami Mitzrayim. Yatsami Mitzrayim.
Thank you, Cantor. We now turn to a prayer for healing. Healing of the body, healing of the mind, healing of the heart, and healing of the soul. On the screen appear the names of many in our community or connected to our community in need of healing. But we want to lift up as many names as we need to, in addition to those on the screen. Those just like our ancestor Miriam who needed healing. Miriam and her brothers feature in the prayer that we'll sing and also in the story we are about to tell around the Seder table. So I invite you to share any names now for healing and wholeness. For all those and many more we hold in our hearts, whose names we don't know, we turn to the words Moses uttered on behalf of his sister.
El Narefanala, El Narefanala, El Narefanala, El Narefanala. And Moses cried, heal Miriam, this I pray. And Moses cried, heal Miriam, this I pray. El Narefanala, El Narefanala, El Narefanala, El Narefanala.
I'm going to need some help tonight with my Devar Torah. Are you ready to help me? I heard a little bit over here. Are we ready? Are you ready to help me? I learned something new this week. You should always, my father taught me, you should learn something new every single day. And as we're getting ready for the solar eclipse, I learned that a solar eclipse can only take place at a certain phase of the moon. Does anyone know what that phase is? Yeah. At a new moon. Normally, when we have a new moon, what do you see in the sky? Nothing. The fascinating thing about a new moon is you can't see any moon at all. I once was taught by someone many of us know that that's how we got the word for month. It's a month. And on the Jewish calendar, we know it's a new month when there's a new moon. And it took our ancestors quite a lot to figure out exactly when is it really a new moon or is it just a cloudy night. Sometimes you don't know that it's the new moon until after the fact because there's nothing to see. But it's only when you have the moon in the phase of newness, that you can have a solar eclipse. And so I just told you, when we have a new moon, we have a new Jewish month. Does anyone know or remember, I may have said at the beginning, what the name of this month on the Hebrew calendar is? And it's the easiest one to remember because it sounds like a car make. Nissan. So if you ever get stuck, always say Nissan. All right. And there's something very special about Nisan. The first of Nisan happens to be one of the New Years on the Jewish calendar. How many New Years do we have after all? 4. It depends on the rabbi. 4 New Years. What's the one that we usually talk about the most? Rosh Hashanah. Rosh meaning head. We use that for the start of things. So the start of the year is Rosh Hashanah. A start of a new month is Rosh Chodesh. The start of the new month. Chodesh means new. Month means moon. I love it. It's beautiful. So much fun. So Rosh Hashanah, the first of the month of Tishrei, is when we typically will celebrate a new full year cycle on the Jewish calendar. It just so happens to have been in the ancient world when we would start counting the new year for planting. So anything that had been planted since the last Rosh Hashanah gets to turn 1 on the 1st of Tishrei, because I don't remember if I planted it on Tuesday or 3 months ago. And it was the new year for counting tithes for vegetables. Once upon a time, the Jewish people were farmers, like all of us, most of us. And we would give a piece of what we grew to God. And that's when it would happen. That or what we would get calculated. Basically, our taxes for vegetables were calculated on the 1st of Tishrei. So that is one of our 4 New Years. Who knows of another one? You said priests? Trees. The New Year for the trees. Does anyone know what that holiday is called, Charlotte? I was about to say Shirami is doing a great job. Austin. Tu B'Shvat. Sorry, it was a little hard to understand you with some teeth missing. Tu B'Shvat. Unlike Rosh Hashanah, which is on the 1st of a month, Tu B'Shvat ultimately landed in the middle of a month. Anyone know what the moon looks like in the middle of a Hebrew month? Full. Opposite of new, nothing there, full. So we have a lot of Jewish holidays on the full moon. Why? If you don't have electricity, it helps to see at night. Full moon, lots of light. There was a little bit of a debate among the rabbis. Is it the 1st of Shvat or the 15th of Shvat? But lo and behold, the 15th went out, full moon time. All right, you're not going to know this next one. I'm telling you right now. The 1st of Elul, which is now the last month of the year, is the new year for animal tithes. I know this is fun stuff. If you had a farm and you had animals on your farm, you would use that particular date on the calendar to calculate your taxes for the animals. All right, but let's forget about that because we don't need that right now. Now, the 4th New Year is the one we celebrated on Monday with the solar eclipse. It is the new year for kings. So if you happen to live in a place with kings, you would count the years of a king's reign on the 1st of Nisan. And once upon a time, it was the date when the folks would sit around and figure out the order of the holidays for the next year. In the Torah, the 1st of Nisan used to be called something else. We'll get to that in a moment. Was Rosh Hashanah, the one and only new year that mattered. Because when the moon turns full, we celebrate a foundational story of the Jewish people. The story we've been talking about tonight, the story of what holiday? Passover. Nice try. Passover. I know, at Beth Chaim it's hard to tell which is the most important holiday, Purim or Rosh Hashanah. But Passover. Passover is the beginning of the Jewish story. Not about the family, because, yeah, Abraham was the first guy to say, great God, Adonai, I'll have a special relationship with you. But he was just one person. Yes, he had his wife, he had his nephew Lot, but it was still small. Fast forward to the Exodus in Egypt. Mr. Blum. The Exodus in Egypt. We're a nation now. Remember the beginning of the book of Exodus? We're Those 12 sons of Jacob are now 12 tribes. We're prolific. We're so fertile that Pharaoh is wigging out. And it is the story of offering the very first sacrifice to God as a group. You may remember we used the blood of that sacrifice to paint our doorways. And then that group leaving slavery, leaving Mitzrayim, Egypt, that narrow place, to march to the promised land, the land that God promised to our ancestor Abraham and his son Isaac and his son Jacob, and so on and so forth. That's when our people's story starts. And that's why the Torah says that really the new year should start with this month. The month in the Torah that's called Aviv. Any Hebrew scholars in the room know what the word Aviv means in English? Shout it out. Spring. That's why the holidays are early or late, depending on the solar calendar. Passover has to be in the spring. You can't have karpas, the parsley or whatever green vegetable you're going to eat at the Seder table, in wintertime, especially before supermarkets existed. It has to be the spring. It is the spring harvest festival, or really the spring planting festival. We have to clear out the fields so we can plant anew, just like we clean out our houses to get rid of the chametz, that Lebanese stuff, to get ready for Passover. But who also in this room engages in spring cleaning? I went in the toy closet last weekend. Got rid of all bunch of stuff we don't need anymore. Right? Spring cleaning. That's where we take our rugs out after a very dusty winter and we shake them out. We open up the windows because it's now warm enough to do so, air the house out. Spring cleaning. We invented it. What? Bathe the children. You know, that once a year time. Yep. Maybe you do some work outside now that the grass is getting green again and things are starting to bud. Our daffodils just drooped, which means, oh no, that phase is over, but there's more flowers coming, we know. So this is a time of new growth, of clearing out that which we don't need anymore, don't want anymore, which isn't going to benefit us anymore. Give me an example of something you're ready to throw out with your spring cleaning. Anything. It could be physical or spiritual. What are we throwing out this spring? Yeah. And it can't be your sister. Yeah. You got one? What are you throwing out? The basketball hoop that's too small for you now that you've grown. Right. How many of us have grown since last Passover? We need to get rid of the things that don't fit anymore. Yeah. Mm. Mm. So my grandfather, who turned 95 in February, is moving to Princeton next week. I've never been so close to my grandfather before in my life, but the papers he's finding, because he has to downsize, that we're trying to, do we keep it? Do we get rid of it? All the artwork, the tchotchkes, you know, the trinkets, the stuff we collect over time that maybe it sat in a box for 30 years and we totally forgot about it. And turns out we actually didn't need it after all. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Donating art supplies. Do you have too many, dear artist? So you get rid of the stuff that maybe somebody else will benefit from so you can get new stuff. That's also part of the package. It's not only spring cleaning, but if Ari's going to have a birthday with presents, we got to get rid of old stuff to make room for the new stuff. Yeah. Your what? I can't hear you. Your old clothes? How many of us, the clothes don't fit anymore, or they're shabby, they've been washed one too many times, maybe they got mud stains on it. So the signs of life well lived and new growth, but they don't work anymore. So it's time to get rid of those and start fresh. What else? What else do we wipe it? Oh, yes, Vivi. Oh, the things hiding your guitar tuner. So I heard a great tidbit. If you're not sure if you want it or not, you put it in a box, and if you haven't touched it, let's say for 3 months, you pick some sort of arbitrary time, then the whole box goes away, right? If you're not going to use it, lose it. Yep. Old school papers. So maybe you should come to my office and help me with that project. I have grand visions of scanning them for posterity. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. What else are we getting rid of this spring? I'll take a couple more before we wrap it up. Oh, so sorry, Harrison. Got. Desks are great collectors of junk. Does anyone have a junk drawer at home? I love to clear out the junk drawer. So you want to clear out your desk at school. I just cleared out Jonah's little pencil box. Oh, it was I really love a good purge. It feels good for me. JC. Cleaning out your garden. When COVID-19 hit, I don't really like to garden. I just pretend sometimes. I was weeding constantly. Because in a world where I felt like I was so out of control that there was nothing I could get my hands around, I could pull out a weed, right? I could make my garden bed look nice. There was something I could do, and it got me outside, so I wasn't feeling cooped up in the house. But getting outside, beautifying the world, even our own little world where we live. This is at the heart of this festival coming up. There's a reason why it's at this time of year. There's also a reason why it's a home holiday. It's that time to reconnect. We're coming out of the cocoons, the hibernation of winter. Oh, people again. Why don't you come to my house and have a nice meal? Let's figure out what the next year is going to look like now that we're enjoying the extra hours of sunlight, the new growth, the blossoming and the blooming. It's okay if it rains. Rain is a gift in Jewish tradition. It's what our earth needs to grow. We don't get the Mayflowers without those April showers. And let us enjoy the rain as it washes away all the things we don't need anymore. I pray for you in this new Nisan year. A clean slate, a fresh start, more opportunities for light and for growth. And as we get closer to this incredible festival, opportunities for reconnection and joy. We return to our service now. And I'm going to invite anyone who has not yet become B-Mitzvah to come on up to the Bima to help us open the Ark for Aleinu L'Shabeach. All right, that's you, children. If you have not yet become B-Mitzvah, you are invited up to the Bima, and we're going to invite everyone else to rise in body or spirit for Aleinu L'Shabeach.
Aleinu L'Shabeach Ladon HaKol, Latet Gedula Yotze Breshit, Shehu Noteh Shamayim Veyoser Haaretz, Umoshav Yikaro Bashamayim Mima'al, Ushchinat Uzo Begov Meromim, Hu Eloheinu Ein Od, V'anachnu Korim, Umishachavim Umodim, Lifnei Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'nemar, V'haya Adonai, L'melech al kol ha'aretz, Bayom hahu, Bayom hahu, Yihyeh
grief is a funny thing. I realized this morning, as I'm getting ready for my great aunt's funeral, that I put something down and it misses the table. I stub my toe. I'm just like an inch or two off. Like my axis has shifted just a little bit because I experienced loss. And so when we're feeling off, a little askew, what do? We find the ways to reground ourselves, to anchor ourselves. And one of the ways that we do that is by finding our sacred community. So as we prepare for Mourner's Kaddish, I want to thank you for being my sacred community, for helping anchor me in time and place with other people to help me get a little bit back on track as my family and I are mourning my great aunt June Soffin, also the aunt of my mother who happens to be a member here, Robin Kemper, and my cousin Andrea Edwards, her grandmother. And if I call your loved one's name, I'll invite you to stand in place, and then we'll all join you together because that act of solidarity is so important at this moment. Several whose loved ones are in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning. Gerald Safran, father of Corey Safran. Ronald Rowan, father of Ian Rowan. Stephen Copland, our dear congregant, partner of Patty Copland. Teresa McMahon, mother of Keith McMahon. And Joan Druckman, wife of Richard Druckman. And we remember the following yahrzeit, the anniversary of the passing of these loved ones that fell this past week. Ruth Abramson, Grace Schwartz Aronow, Jeanette Bloom, Eva Cohen, Lee Conklin, Dr. Leonard Deutsch, Gertrude Durlacher, Adele Feldstein, Eric Friedman, Irving Gold, Sid Hoffing, Jack Horowitz, Ida Kaplowitz, Jonas Katz, Isaac Kowalski, Evelyn Korinsky, Sam Litwin, Rose Massia, Joseph Nathanson, Sanford Newman, Beverly Nimitz, Louis Polovsky, Robert Rosenthal, Elliot Ross, Robert Saltzman, Burton Schumann, Nathan Schwartz, Melvin Cipher, Lucy Simpson, Raymond Snyder, Robert Bubba Stein, Nathan Sukanik, Paul Tandler, and Don Thackeray. Do you want to share a name? No. So we all rise together as one community and continue with Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish. This is one of those serious moments, friends. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'alma divrach hirutei v'amlich malchutei. B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. Ba'gala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mivarach le'alam u'lamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, v'yitale, v'yitalal, Shemei Kudisha, Brichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memory always be a blessing. Please be seated. We have a few announcements.
Just found out I'm doing double announcement duty today. Okay, it's been wonderful to get together for Shabbat. Thank you to the band for the rockin' music we all enjoyed tonight. Mazel tov to all those celebrating an April birthday or anniversary. We hope this opportunity to spiritually connect, learn, and celebrate with your Beth Chaim community was meaningful to you. I am still Jeff Litwin, as I was earlier today. After our closing benediction, please follow Elio, the clergy, and me to the rear of the sanctuary for Kiddush and Motzi. Following these blessings, there will be an ice cream oneg in the social hall. Ooh, I didn't know that. That sounds good. Thank you to all of tonight's oneg sponsors. Prepare for Passover and support Beth Chaim by ordering your chocolate-covered matzah from the men's club. Only 1 week left to order, so don't delay. There is something for everyone at Beth Chaim this weekend, starting with Torah study and bagels tomorrow morning at 8:45. At 10:30 a.m., Elio Masa becomes a B mitzvah on the Beth Chaim Bima during our Saturday morning Shabbat service. Mazel tov to Elio and the Masa family. Sunday morning, check out Judaica Shop Passover sale starting at 9 a.m. Religious school starts with Kahal at 9 a.m., and our adult ed pathways through the prayer book class continues at 9:30 a.m. Beth Chaim bikers will leave from our parking lot for their bike ride at 9:30 a.m. Our Seder to Life Up the Voices of Women begins at 10:30 a.m., and the BCTY Princeton Picnic is at 1 p.m. That is a lot of stuff. Next Friday at 6:30 p.m., join us for our Shabbat Shiraz wine and cheese preneg, followed by our Friday night Shabbat service at 7:30, where we will be honoring our many Beth Chaim volunteers. We have many exciting events on our calendar. Keep checking your Beth Chaim emails at our website for information on all these programs and more. Shabbat Shalom.
Next slide, please. We want to shout out to everyone who helped sponsor tonight's Oneg. So thank you, Toda Rabbah. And a few more notes of gratitude. On the rain stick tonight, Mark Wilson. On guitar, we have Charlie White, Barry Wasserman, Harrison Shapiro, and Vivi Khan. On percussion, Cliff Hochberg. Electric bass, the birthday boy, Eric Brigel. Tickling those ivories, Dan Berg. And on baritone guitar and lead vocals, Cantor Jordan Goldstein. Woo. I am your happy tambourinist, Rabbi Adina Blum. Should we sing one more song?
There we go.
Well,
That's
I didn't.
enthusiasm.
I mean, Anna Bergel's ready. Are we ready to sing one more song?
That's the enthusiasm for prayer we should have every week. There's no better way to end than with a hope for peace. So we sing, Oh, say Shalom Bimroma. Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel. Ve'imru
We invite you to rise one last time as we have the opportunity to bless one another this Shabbat.
Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless us and protect us.
Ya'er Adonai panav ve'yelecha v'chuneka.
May God's light shine upon us, and may God be gracious to us.
Yisa Adonai panav ve'yelecha ve'yasem lecha shalom.
May we always feel that God's light and warmth is upon us, and may we be blessed with that great yet elusive gift of peace. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.